And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this wonderful world. Welcome to BWTM Sports. You know, I have to be honest with you, viewers, that I get asked this question over and over and over again. What do you think, or who do you think is going to win the big fight between Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez? I will start by saying this. I realized I didn't actually do an official video for this, but the way I'm going to come to the conclusion about this fight is to actually use a fight that was quite recent. I know they're different fighters, but I want to use a reason. I'm going to use my logic of how I break down a fight. I'm going to take two fighters, which I haven't done a post-fight video for yet, and then I'll bring you to Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. I'm going to talk about Nathan Cleverly's fight against Badou Jack. Nathan Cleverly was the reigning, I think, WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, or the regular belt, or whatever it was. He'd won off Jürgen Bremer, wasn't impressive in that, against Badou Jack, who came off a draw against De Gale, and some would say he was lucky to get that draw because it was that knockdown actually got him the draw. Had he not knocked De Gale down in that last round, he would have been his belt would have been taken off him rather than him vacating to move up. That's my personal opinion. But it was a close fight. Regardless, he needed that knockdown to get the draw, in my opinion, because I had De Gale up. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about Nathan Cleverly. Nathan Cleverly, looking at his record, up to the fight he fought Sergey Kovalev, you know, he was a guy that threw a lot of punches. He was a guy that you fancy his chin a lot, and you know, stick his chin out and get hit, and you know, he didn't pay much attention to defense. Cleverly, I would stand there and be very macho and throw combination punches. And a lot of the media, particularly the British media, would say, "Oh, Cleverly's got a great chin, and Cleverly, you know, he takes a great shot." But you know, I asked the question, who hit him on that chin? And then I saw him got hit on the chin by a guy that wasn't even ranked in the top 20, and he looked badly buzzed. I looked at that fight and I said, if you're getting badly buzzed by a guy like this guy, who I can't pronounce his name to remember, and if he's wobbled you and you've got such a great chin, supposedly, if you fight Sergey Kovalev, which I know is going to be a pound for pound great puncher, you're in a lot of trouble, son, because there's a few things. Your defense is leaky. You get too macho. You fight in the pocket as a tall man against short guys, and you give up your reach and your height to be macho and stand in trade. Do that against a guy like Kovalev, and you leave your chin exposed, and you stay in the pocket, and you tuck your hands up like that around. Kovalev is going to knock you out. People laughed at me and said to me, "Ha ha ha! No way, Kovalev's a bum." Well, I looked at Kovalev knocking a whole lot of guys over. He uses his height, he uses his reach, and from the outside, he's very good. So I was wondering how the hell Cleverly was going to box this guy. So, of course, what happens? As soon as Cleverly gets hit, I mean, at one stage, the referee's taking Cleverly back to the corner. Okay? So I noticed some things about Nathan Cleverly. Couldn't fight backing up. He has a problem with guys who walk him back to the ropes and walk through his power on his flurries. And then he had the fight against, I believe, Fonfara. That took more out of Cleverly. He had the revenge fight, or the fight with Bellew up at cruiserweight, where at some point he just laid on the ropes and let Bellew literally put his hand there and tee off on him. There was that fight as well. Then he had the fight with Fonfara, which was an absolute war. Again, Cleverly boxing exactly the same way. And, you know, and then he fought against Jürgen Bremer exactly the same way. I beat an older Jürgen Bremer, and he didn't look that great. So then when I looked at Badou Jack, guy who tucks up tight, works the body well, physically very strong, uses the jab very well, got a good straight right hand, does all things technically very well as a boxer. Not great, but does everything pretty well. Seems to have some spite in his punches. I saw Badu Jack when he fought against George Groves, and I told people, when people were saying to me, Badu Jack, George Groves will knock him out. George Groves was saying, oh, knock him out. I said, listen, this guy Badu Jack can punch. Don't be surprised if Groves is dropped by Badu Jack. I knew Groves tired. That's a pattern of his. He tires after 6 rounds. I knew his stamina was a question mark. I knew his chin was a question mark. I knew his ability to take punishment was a question mark. And I knew that any guy that stands up to George Groves and can take his power has a good chance of beating him. Badu Jack, we knew, got knocked out in a round, but that was more of a blip because he showed a good chin after that point. So looking at this fight with Badu Jack fighting George Groves, I'd put my money on a Badu Jack, either late stoppage or win on points, which is what we saw. Badu Jack dropping George Groves and more or less beating George Groves to the punch, and I tied George Groves down the stretch. So I look for patterns in fighters. That's how I sort of break down fights. Saturday night just gone, Badu Jack fought Nathan Cleverly, and I said to people, what I see happening is Jack taking a set in the ring. I see Nathan Cleverly trying to throw those floaty shots. I see Badu Jack tucking up, walking him back to the ropes, landing them vicious body shots, and eventually stopping Nathan Cleverly. And that is exactly what we saw. Brutally, Nathan Cleverly, I think, had the fight punched out of him before he even got in the ring against Badu Jack. I think he knew he was going to get beat by Badu Jack. None of the normal bravado, you know, all the sort of fast combinations, all that stuff had gone. And Cleverly basically was a shot fighter going into this fight. And Badu Jack took advantage, backed him Cleverly back straight up against the ropes, body shots. Cleverly can't box their game plan, and he was just there for Badu Jack. So you're asking me the question, well, okay, Ingram, it's not Badu Jack that's fighting, it's not Nathan Cleverly's fighting, it's Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. Okay, wait for me. Wait before we get there. Okay, I decided to do this video because tonight because I can't be bothered to record it and then upload it. So you're going to have to bear with me and let me get my explanation out. So what I think is, it's my explanation of my belief and how I see the fight will go. And then you can say what you want afterwards. But as for this minute in time, please bear with me because I want reading comments, because I'm going to be focusing on the camera and talking about my thoughts on both fights. Okay. We could talk about Canelo Alvarez first. I'll talk about Canelo. And there are a few fights. Canelo, in my opinion, doesn't do well against movers, guys that can move. A Lara, a Trout, those kind of guys are sort of slick movers. Doesn't look the greatest against. If you stand in front of Canelo, oh, he looks brilliant because he can tee off, throw shots, counter. He's slick, and he's defensively a lot smoother and a lot more gifted at defense than a lot of people give it credit for. People look back and they look at the Mayweather fight, but Mayweather is an all-time great. And Mayweather is a class above anybody else from the welterweight division up to like middle. Mayweather is a class on. Let's put Mayweather into one side. And that was a younger Canelo. Canelo's grown tremendously since then. Fights against James Kirkland. Again, the Ahmed Khan fight did exactly what he needed to do against a smaller guy. He waited for Khan to drop the right hand. As soon as you drop the right hand, bang, one over the top, one right hand, the fight was over. That is a guy that's patient, will take his time, thinking fighter. But Floyd was a bit different. Floyd was a master boxer, mover as well. People forget he was a mover. He was slippery. You couldn't nail him. And even when he nailed Floyd, Floyd was able to take it. Floyd the other day, or last Saturday night, a lot of people talk about Conor McGregor and his punching power. And this is a guy 170 pounds that didn't even really put a dent in Floyd, let's be honest. So if people are surprised at Floyd being able to take that power, then of course Canelo, who blows up to a similar weight, he was able to take his power too. So again, move that to one side. And Gennady Golovkin's not one of those type of guys who will move like a Lara, a Trout. He won't move like those sort of athletic type of fighters. He's not one of those type of long athletic fighters. Okay. Let's switch to Gennady Golovkin in a second. Gennady Golovkin had been on a rampage, knocking guys out left, right, and center. Not the top ranked fighters, but he knocked out everybody in his around him, defending titles and winning titles. Okay, fine. His fight against Lemieux was, for me, pretty good. I like the way that he did engage with Lemieux, use the jab, and dictate behind the left jab. Albeit, David Lemieux, not a boxer, but a puncher, and an ignorant puncher to that. But he's a puncher. If he lands on you, there's trouble. So Gennady got in the ring with a genuine puncher and basically boxed circles around him, at the same time putting a lovely left jab out and hurting him with body shots and head shots, and eventually stopping Lemieux. Fights against Macklin and Gill showed the brutal power of Golovkin, and against Dominic Wade, I think it's Dominic Wade, that was like a irrelevant fight for me. But the fights that were more interesting for me was the fight against Kell Brook and Danny Jacobs. Again, two guys that are movers. So both Canelo and Golovkin, I suspect, well, Golovkin for sure doesn't bode well with movers. Yeah, he may have got the win against both of those guys, but those are more of the higher ups in their divisions. Like Brook could be argued to be in the top 5 welterweights in the world, arguably. Danny Jacobs could be arguably one of the top 5 or 6 middleweights in the world. Both guys athletic, both guys rely on speed, reflexes, good footwork, maneuverability around the ring. And I said when Golovkin fought Jacobs, be careful. This is a dangerous fight because Jacobs can move. He's athletic. He's got rhythm. And those are the things that offset a Gennady Golovkin. You saw Kell Brook's movement again, which when he had Golovkin on the back foot, Golovkin was ineffective. When Golovkin was on the front foot, that's where he's able to throw them power shots and look really good and hurtful. In the first round, you saw Golovkin pressing on the front foot against Brook, hurting early in the first 30 seconds of the fight, and we thought, oh yeah, it could happen here. The fight could stop real quickly. But as soon as Brook put up resistance and started pushing Golovkin onto the back foot, even if it was throwing uppercuts through the middle or throwing straight right hands, Golovkin would step back, take the shot, and then call the guy in and come forward. What was quite significant for me is that every time Golovkin gets hit with a good shot, he takes a step back and then resets and comes forward. And that's key. And I think that there with the Brook fight started to show unraveling the way and how you beat Gennady Golovkin, which is, when he is less effective on the back foot. In fact, he's inactive when he's on the back foot, which is what I've said before. When Kovalev fought Andre Ward, people said to me, oh, Kovalev's going to knock Andre Ward out. And I said to people, as long as Kovalev keeps Andre Ward on the outside of that jab, Ward's in trouble. We saw it in the first fight. Ward, bam, dropped with a straight right hand by Kovalev at distance. Eastern European fighters fight good at distance. Kovalev, Lomachenko, Golovkin all fight good at distance where they can dictate long leverage, use their arms, and get full leverage in the punches and be on the front foot. That's great. When it gets to them having to work on the back foot and somebody on their chest, it's a problem. Kovalev, I saw that when he fought Pascal. In moments when Pascal was getting on his chest, he looked uncomfortable. That's what I knew. If Andre Ward got on the inside of Kovalev, it'd be like Christmas coming early for Ward, because he'd get inside, dirty, throw uppercuts, body shots, and Kovalev wouldn't know how to fight on the inside. All the rough house, dirty, inside stuff, Kovalev wouldn't know what to do. Body work, upstairs through the middle, tie him out, rough him up on the inside. They know about any of that. And that's so far, that's where Ward was able to get a foothold and fight, and again stop Kovalev. I said on the inside. This fight against Canelo versus GGG, let's forget one thing. Or for me, not forget it, but let's take things into perspective. Gennady Golovkin is not Julian Jackson in terms of punching power. He doesn't have that bang, one shot, knock you out at the highest level. You got to remember Julian Jackson, when he was punching guys and knocking guys over, it was one shot, bang, done, good night. There was no referee coming in and stopping the fight after cluster punches. This guy was a brutal knockout puncher. Joe McLennan, another one. When this guy hit you, bang, you're done. Brutal one-punch knockout artist. Golovkin's not that. He's heavy-handed. At the highest level, he's heavy-handed. A one-punch knockout artist at the highest level? Well, I'm still not convinced. Fights against Jacobs and against Brook convinced me that if you remove her and you keep Golovkin on his back foot, he becomes ineffective and his power, he hasn't got as much leverage to get his shots off. Now, that being said, Canelo is not going to be doing fancy down, boxing around the ring, keeping outside the jab and trying to keep Golovkin at distance. I don't see that happening. What I do see that can happen, for Golovkin, for him to beat Canelo, he's got to take the center of the ring and honestly keep coming forward. That's the only way I see Golovkin winning this fight. Using a jab, but coming forward. The momentum has to be, he's got to be on the front foot. His foot's got to be pushing forward all the time against Canelo, because that's where he'll generate his power. That's where he'll be able to dig his shots in, okay? And throw his shots, his big hooks and body shots. That's where Golovkin's power lies, on the front foot. Now, for Canelo, he's going to ensure at all times that Golovkin's back is touching against, his back against the ropes. Now, the difference between Canelo, for me, and Golovkin, in my opinion, is that Canelo is a more all-round fighter. What do you mean by that? For example, I've seen Canelo fight on the front foot. I've seen him fight off the back foot. I've seen him fight with his back against the ropes, uppercuts and hooks off the ropes. Old school style. I've seen him do that. I've seen him fight on the inside. I've seen him fight outside and use the jab. I've seen him move in and out and to the sides. The only thing I've seen Gennady Golovkin do in his career so far, and we talk about, oh, that great jab he had against Lemieux. Yes, he had a great jab against Lemieux, but Lemieux's not a boxer. Lemieux is a straight-out puncher. He's a slugger, is what I call him. He doesn't really think about boxing. He hasn't got a boxing brain, for me. He's just an out-and-out big puncher. Canelo's different. And I don't think Golovkin can just stand there and pop a chance against Canelo, because you've got a guy who's got little movements with his head. Movements with his head. And if you throw a shot, Canelo counter over the top. And these are all things that are little intricate things that make this fight a little different for Canelo, for Golovkin. We've seen Golovkin in fights already where he's paid, in my opinion, and in the opinion of his own trainer, Abel Sanchez, on numerous occasions, he said he doesn't, the plan for Golovkin to let people hit him, that is not part of the plan. They're hitting him because basically the other guy on the other side has decided to throw a punch and it's landed, as opposed to a case of, oh, Golovkin puts his chin out there as he likes to get hit. That's not true. And Abel Sanchez slammed those thoughts. He slammed it on a number of occasions on our channel when we interviewed Abel Sanchez. So Golovkin's defense has been less than tight. Getting hit with clean uppercuts by Brook, or getting hit with straight right hands by Jacobs at the higher level are cause for concerns. And neither the Brook fight nor the Jacobs fight has Golovkin looked the impressive guy that we've seen previously. Now, there are questions at 35 that Golovkin, A, is not going to get any better, and B, could be on the slide. Is he on the slide already? Or is he beginning to decline? Or, here's a third thing, has the level of opposition gotten better? Those knockouts we were seeing before are not happening now. The Brook fight, the stoppage, well, it was more of a referee throwing a towel in. Yeah, we could say, oh, well, you know, he's going to knock him out. But he didn't. At no point did he drop Brook. Danny Jacobs, the knockdown was dubious, to say the least. He was there for 12 rounds. This is the same Danny Jacobs that got knocked out by Pirog. And I said that because of the movement, Pirog and Golovkin are two different fighters. So movement. So for me, Golovkin's best fight, as I said, is to move forward. But when he moves forward, unlike in the past in Golovkin fights where he's thrown his punches and he's cut the range down and he's done all these things, he's now got a guy who's got as fast or faster hands than him, puts just as good combination together, if not better, and pays more attention to defense. And when you hit him, there's a possibility you could get countered over the top. Those things, for me, don't bode well for a man that seems pretty stuck in his ways defensively. I always talk about being defensively responsible. Now, for Canelo, if I were Canelo and his coach, I'd say to him, listen, when you throw a combination to Golovkin, don't stand in front of him. That was Brook's problem. Brook throw a nice combination, back Golovkin up for a second, or take him aback, and then stand right back in the pocket, and then trade, and then Golovkin would come forward and get momentum, and then get power. What you have to do with Golovkin is hit him, shift to the sides, or hit him, tie him up, walk him back to the ropes. Remember when Holyfield fought Mike Tyson? The thing that made Holyfield effective was the fact that he didn't allow Mike to come forward and throw those shots. What he did, he got close to Mike and smothered him and tied Mike up and pushed Mike back. Mike couldn't fight off the back foot. Mike was very effective coming forward. So what Holyfield did was tie Mike up and push him onto the back foot. If you looked at times of the fight where Mike was successful against Holyfield, was when he was on the front foot, coming forward, and was allowed to unload combinations. That's where Mike was effective. But as soon as Holyfield tied Mike up or got close to Mike and got closer to him and didn't allow Mike to get leverage for all them big shots, Holyfield had more success. And he kept Mike in more of a square on position, which didn't allow Mike to get leverage on the shots. So that was how Holyfield was able to win the two fights with Mike, by walking back, taking the fight to Mike, walking him back carefully. And then when he throw it up, it gets tie up inside and throw a lot of shots and shots and throw shots back. When Mike didn't want to throw punches, that's when Holyfield would fight. When Mike wanted to fight, Holyfield would box. And when Mike wanted to box, Holyfield would fight. That's what it is, changing things up. So it's all about science. So I could be completely wrong about this. But from what I see of Golovkin and what I see of Canelo, I see a man that's actually on the slide. I do, in my opinion. I think his punching power has reached its levels, and he's not the ferocious puncher that everyone says he is, but he is a heavy-handed type of guy. Don't get me twisted what I'm saying. Golovkin's a very heavy-handed guy, but he's not this monster of a puncher that everyone's putting out to be. And I think as well, Canelo's movement, the way he moves his head, moves his body, is key. For me, the other thing is something that we don't see much of Golovkin. We don't see in Golovkin opponents is people going to his body. Now, I think for me, Golovkin's having a problem at middleweight. I think he's struggling at middleweight, but they're keeping that all hush hush. I think he's struggling, and of course, at 35, you've got to ask yourself the question: how difficult is he for you to come to make weight? There were rumors and reports of him coming into camp looking heavy. This is unlike Golovkin. And some of the reports I've been hearing about Golovkin saying, this is going to be my last fight. I never heard Golovkin talk like that before. This is the biggest fight of his career. This is the fight that's going to make him a middleweight superstar. Should he beat Canelo? And I'm hearing stories like, oh, this is going to be my last fight. I don't like the sound of that. That's not the sort of thing I want to be hearing that coming out your camp. But when I get a hold of Abel Sanchez, I will certainly find out what that is all about. So for me, this fight goes like this, in my opinion. Strategically, if Canelo allows Golovkin to get on the front foot, use the jab, and box him, right, and allow Golovkin to take center stage, that's where Golovkin's going to be at his most dangerous and that's where he's going to be most powerful. If Canelo, when he's at the center stage, counter Golovkin and move him back towards the ropes and keep Golovkin's back against the ropes, he can win this fight. He can win this fight because Canelo's better off the ropes, countering off the ropes. Canelo's better. I think he's a better combination puncher, in my opinion. And you know, the thing with Golovkin is we don't know what he does against the very best yet. We kind of know what Canelo's done against the very best against Mayweather. So it all remains. It remains to be seen what exactly happens. But for me, if Golovkin decides to stand in the middle of the ring and trade with Gennady Golovkin, he will get himself stopped because the physically bigger man and stronger man, I suspect. And let's get something straight here. Golovkin's not the biggest of middleweights, okay? But what he's got, he uses very well. But I still think if he stands in the middle of the ring, center of the ring with Golovkin, trouble. But if he throws his combinations, shifts out to the sides, or ties Golovkin up, and he's got a referee, for Canelo to win this fight, they're going to need a good ref. They're going to need a referee that's not. It's going to allow a lot of holding. The holding as well will frustrate Golovkin, and him not being able to get his shots off will frustrate Golovkin. Again, for Golovkin, center the ring, get forward, use that jab, okay? Pay attention to defense, and when Canelo decides to take these breaks, which he does, if you look at Canelo, he fights in spots, and much like when Holyfield fought Tyson, Golovkin has got to fight Canelo at a pace he's not used to. So Golovkin's got to be on him all the time, because Canelo switches off in fights. Canelo takes his time. Canelo is like, I'll throw a few punches here, and then I'll just look at you, and not do much, and then suddenly throw a combination. And no. That's where the strategy's got to be on Canelo from round one, and don't allow this man any breathing space. So that would be for Golovkin. But the difference between the two guys, if Golovkin does take that route, which I think is his only route of beating Canelo, he's got to remember he's got a guy who can counter over the top, over his sloppy punches, because sometimes he leaves himself exposed. And he's also got to be careful of when he backs Canelo up to the ropes, Canelo can fight off the ropes. I ain't so sure if it goes the other way and Golovkin's put on the back foot and he's put against the ropes, whether he can fight on the inside with his back against ropes. So for me, I'm going to go with the guy that I believe is more versatile, which is Canelo. The younger, fresher, more multi-dimensional fighter, can go forward, can go back, can fight off the ropes. So I think he's got faster hands, better combinations, and I think is actually better conditioned. I'm not sure about Golovkin at 35. I'm really not. And I think his best days are behind him, sadly. And I think he had too many soft fights through his career. For me, too many soft fights. And I wish he was pushed a little further, a little faster in his career. People talk to me about possibly Golovkin beating guys like Hagler and Leonard. That's ridiculous talk. These guys could fight on the inside, the outside, fast hands, good combination. Hagler, they kept coming and coming and coming. I don't think Golovkin have kept him off him. But there you go. That's just argument's sake. So that's my breakdown. I'm going with a Canelo win. I actually believe the referee won't be needing this fight because I think Canelo's going to go to the body. People talk about Golovkin's got a great chin. All right. What they say, if a man's got a great chin, you go to the body. And Canelo is one of the most vicious body punches in world boxing. So I'll go with the Canelo 1, 2, 3. I'll go with that. And I'm going for Canelo for the stoppage. Yeah, those are my thoughts. A lot of Golovkin fans are not going to agree with me. They're going to say Golovkin's a massive puncher and Golovkin's going to come forward and throw his punches. Well, Golovkin did that in the past. But Canelo is not like any of the other guys Golovkin's got in his resume. So for him to do the stuff he's done previously, he's going to have to do a darn sight better than he did against Brook and a darn sight better than he did against Danny Jacobs, in my opinion. And I'm not sure if there is another gear in Golovkin, because if there was that other gear, we would have seen it against Brook and we would have seen it against Jacobs. And I didn't see it in any of those fights. I just saw the same old thing over again. Those are my thoughts. So, and I've seen Canelo fight in gears, and that's the difference. But hey, Golovkin fans will disagree with me, and I understand that. But I'm going Canelo this one. I really am. I think this is prime Canelo now, and I think they think, yep, Golovkin looks there for the taking. But who knows? Who knows? Golovkin can come up with something special. He's a very good fighter. I'll give you that. So that's my breakdown. I'm going for Canelo to stop Golovkin. Body shots. But hey, if Golovkin beats Canelo, man, he would have deserved to be a middleweight champion of the world and undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Billy Joe Saunders has got a way to go. I'm sorry. He'd be lucky if he gets past Willie Monroe, because that's going to be a serious fight. Willie Monroe's been active, and that fight he had against Wolverine at the Leisure Centre, that wasn't impressive at all. And if he comes with that sort of shit against Willie Monroe, that WBO title will be taking a nice trip back to America. I suspect if he goes to points, Monroe may have a difficulty moving the title out of the UK. But again, Saunders is another one of these guys. You look at his track record, he's one of these guys who tires down the stretch. And I think down the stretch, that's where Willie Monroe might well be capitalizing. We'll see. So, okay, I've done my breakdown for Golovkin versus Canelo, or Canelo versus Golovkin. Let's hear what people are saying in the room. Wow, got a packed room. Hey, dude, Mikey says, I'm picking Golovkin by stoppage. And then Mikey says, cleverly got bashed up. As we all predicted, he's finished. Glad he retired. Don't want to see him get seriously hurt. Get Abel on. I'll try. Canelo getting beat up bad for 12 rounds, says Ross Clark. Okay. Boxing fans at 1337 says, really hard to call this Canelo GG fight. I like both. If GG loses, everyone will say he was a hype job. They probably will do. Boxing fan continues. And if Canelo loses, everyone will say he never fought 164 and he never faced a puncher. GGG can't lose, says Peter Powell. If GG loses, Father Time caught up with him. Canelo is Basura. I don't know what he means by that. Remember Tony Sims saying, "Oh, hard Davis hits as hard as Julian Jackson." Oh my God, I remember that. Come on, GG the man. LOL, Mikey, says boxing fan. I don't know who I want to win. GG can't fight in the back foot. He can't. He hasn't. He can't. GG is a real fighting man off the front foot. GG is weighing a career heavies for this fight, and the latest pictures got him looking a bit fleshy. He didn't look clever. He didn't look clever at all. If anyone, hold on, let me go back here. If anyone, if someone can get the Spectre GG, he won't be waltzing forward at all fight. I can tell you that much now. I see GG losing, but real torn. Okay. Phil Half says Canelo will get knockout. Rocklat says Canelo will lose. Motil says Adebayor. What's that got to do with anything? I told everyone Brook would cause GG problems, and everyone laughed at me. He did before he got his eye ruined. Canelo does not have the same attributes as Brook. No, he's got better attributes than Brook, because I think he's a more intelligent fighter than Brook. He's a natural. Well, let's put it this way: Canelo fights 170. Even though he comes says he's not a middleweight, he fights 170 pounds. We all know that. I think he's a better fighter than Brook. He's beaten better guys than Brook, and Brook's career has been hampered by fighting a lot of mediocre opposition, to be honest. And then he just got thrown in against the best of the best. This is how I break down the category: speed, Canelo, power, GGG, IQ, both advantage, GGG, elusiveness, Canelo, chin, GGG. Well, we'll see. 30-day weigh-in, GGG is 170 pounds. Canelo struggled against Cotto. Really? Cotto is going to be. Cotto is a great fighter. I don't know what you think, but Cotto's a great fighter. We've got to see how GGG would do against Cotto. I mean, you say, oh, GGG would knock him out. Really? Okay. Well, GGG was meant to knock out Jacobs, and it was meant to destroy Brook in a couple of rounds. Didn't happen. So, I'm not saying Cotto would beat Gennady Golovkin, but Canelo's fought him. That's the difference. GG's the truth, real fighting men. Why does no one mention Cotto or Lara, who Canelo and Ostori struggled against? Yet GG is apparently past it because he has a tough fight against another champion at 160. Crazy. No, nobody will mention it. I'm saying, well, look at the names you just mentioned here. Cotto and Lara. Are you telling me Gennady Golovkin would do better against Cotto and Lara? I can't argue that. I mean, I can't tell you that I think Golovkin would do any better. He struggled with the guy who was a blown up welterweight. Truth be said. And you saw what Canelo did against a blown up welterweight. You saw exactly what happened. He laid the guy unconscious. That's what you do against a guy who's smaller than you. Brook caused problems, and for me, Canelo likes a better version of Brook. Of course, Canelo will not knock out GGG, get in the real world. So GGG is invincible, is he? He's never been hurt, and you believe all that crap, do you? Okay, well, I'm not in that. LOL, they're totally different, dude. Maybe it ends in a majority draw. GG will come in the ring at 180 pounds on the night. He's going to be a career heaviest. Yeah, he could be a career heaviest. Is that going to suit him? Is that going to help down the later rounds, down the stretch? Really? Putting on extra weight, does that mean he's going to win a fight because he's heavier? We've seen already, Conor McGregor, heavier doesn't make you better. So I don't care about Golovkin coming at 180 pounds. That's Danny Jacobs' weight. Yeah, this time it will be bigger. To spot Canelo out, can't see it happening. Golovkin hits very, very hard. He hurts guys with every shot. But that's not true. I don't believe that. GG was measured to hit as hard as a light heavy. Well, I don't believe that either. Canelo don't hit that hard. Well, I don't care about how hard he hits. It's where he hits and how often he hits. That's what it's about. Well, Mayweather didn't hit that hard, and he was 148 pounds, and he stopped 170 plus pound man. It's not about power. It's science. It's not how hard you hit. It's where you get hit and when you get hit. And it's the punch that see that knocks you out, not the punch. The punch you don't see is the one that knocks you out. So I'm not into all this. Golovkin's a big puncher. He's a big puncher against who? Who is he a big puncher against? Let's level out the level of opposition and then the knockouts. I'll say congrats Kazakhstan, LOL. Abel Sanchez said GG hits harder than Kovalev. Abel Sanchez told me that. All right, he told me that first. So yeah, I heard that, but I don't pay attention to that. Both are boxing fan 1337 says both are unproven to some degree. Canelo hardly faced any real puncher, and GG has only really fought some decent competition. Okay, let's move down. You're also underestimating GG a bit here. Jacobs would give Canelo a very good fight. Would give Canelo a really tough night. Yeah, he would. I'm not disputing that. If you remember at the top of my discussion, if you were listening, I said both Golovkin and Canelo don't like movers. But I think Lara and Andrade would give Golovkin problems. What's the point? They're not. Golovkin's not fighting them. Watch a video of him talking about coming in a career. Well, I'll talk to Abel about that. I'm not too worried about that. The bar expectation was brought so high in regards to GG that when he has a hard fight, he's been seen his finish on the slide. He's 35 years old. He's 35 years old. That's old for middleweight, not a heavyweight, a middleweight. That's bloody old. 35. And this is your first big fight. Let's be honest. This is Golovkin's first big fight. He's 35 years old. It's disgraceful. All right. There's a lot of Golovkin. AO says, I'll take Canelo on points. I think GG power is not the same. Might be edge or injuries catching up. Agree. Yep, the FM series is done now. Sorry. I bet McGregor is fantastic in bed, and I'm a guy. Oh, dear. Canelo on points. I said it from day one, but I can see GG winning on points too. According to your friend, We got it here. According to friend Abel the Ducker Sanchez, the reason GGG hasn't shown another game is because he had to underperform to get Canelo to sign the contract to get him in the ring. I don't believe that's bull. I don't believe that bull for 1 second. I don't believe that for 1 second. Proper PR job, Abel Sanchez, and he knows it. Skeptical says, I see GGG winning easy on points. I see this fight either being a classic or Ward Kovalev tactical ballfest. Okay, this is boxing round 1367. GGG won't get a decision unless he knocked Canelo down multiple times. I agree with that. AO says, if GG loses, it will be a travesty because Canelo waited for him to get old. Canelo's an entitled knob. Well, yeah, I would probably, I don't know about the entitled knob bit, but I definitely waited for him to get older. Hagler beats them both without a shadow of a doubt. Canelo has fixed judges. Mr. Skepticals, both are tough guys. Don't see a knockdown or knockout anywhere. I do see a knockdown created by body shots by Canelo. GG is a special fight and he will clinically dismantle Canelo by just slowly breaking him down round by round. He may have done that in the past, but I tell you now, if Canelo can get him on the back foot, like I said before, neutralize that power off the back foot, then Canelo Golovkin is half the fighter. And if he's half the fighter, then Canelo takes over. That's a false comparison. Khan glass chin, everyone knows it. Brook had a better chin, and that's why he wasn't laid out. Yeah, but a Golovkin fan said that he punched so hard he was going to knock Brook out. That's not a false comparison. This is what Golovkin fans were saying. GGG fanboys were saying Golovkin's going to smash Brook. He won't go out 3 rounds. Go back and watch videos, man. It's there in boxing forums. Golovkin's like a god. Well, I don't say that. That's what these fanboys say. I say fanboys because there's realistic and there's just mythical, and I think a lot of the stuff with Golovkin's mythical. I hate people allow him to hit him on the chin and all this garbage. A lot of garbage, real garbage. He doesn't allow people to hit him on his chin. What happens is he gets hit with a good shot. That's what happens because the other guy's actually fighting back. That's called, you know, a guy fighting back. 2 guys in the ring, a guy throws a punch back on a guy's chin, or he let him hit him. Well, okay, if he lets Canelo hit him with the chin, there'll be something else because it's not. These guys hit Golovkin with 1 punch, right? I suspect if I'm Canelo's guy, if I'm Canelo's trainer saying, listen, we need this guy on the chin. Make sure you hit him with a 3 or 4 punch combination, not 1 shot, 1, 2, 3. You know, double up on your shots when you hit Golovkin. Don't hit him with 1 shot. I was the one who defended Danny Jacobs about his boxing ability and his skill. Go back and look at the video, and people mocked me for it. So I don't have to justify that about Jacobs. Let's see it. Do you think Jacobs beat Canelo? I think Jacobs comes in a better fighter than when he fought Golovkin. Because you know what? I thought Jacobs actually fought like a man intimidated by Golovkin. And I think later on in the fight, he realized that Golovkin wasn't the beast that everyone had put him out to be. And I actually thought that Jacobs didn't box as good as he really could have done because most of the time he was concerned about getting hit by Golovkin. That's what I felt. Because I thought there was more of him. Canelo too small to push Golovkin back. Well, hold on a second. I remember when Froch fought Ward, and if anyone can go back and read my blog, I said as long as Ward got on the inside, he would push Froch back and he'd beat Froch. Once you get on the inside of somebody, it's very different. Don't care how big you are. Once you get on the inside of somebody and you can't fight on the inside, there's a problem. And I suspect Golovkin cannot fight on the inside. That's where I believe Canelo can win this fight. On Golovkin's back against the ropes, keep him there. He can't fight in the phone. In my opinion, Golovkin can't fight in the phone booth. Golovkin needs space and time to throw his shots. He cannot fight in the phone booth. And if he gets a fight in the phone booth, meaning Canelo puts him back against the ropes and keeps him there, Golovkin ain't winning the fight. I'm teeing that now. He's getting worked over on the ropes. The powerful, vicious body shots will break Canelo's small frame. He's too small. 174. A guy who blows up to 170 pounds. He's not small, in my opinion. Dan, but remember when Brook gave it to GGG, and Canelo is a lot better than Brook. Canelo is bigger than GGG, especially on Fight Night. Thank you very much, Kashif. I really, I think this is go one way and the other. But my part, like I said, I've given the breakdown. I've not just said, oh, GGG is going to win because he's got punching power, or Canelo's going to win because he's faster. I've given you an in-depth breakdown as to why I believe Golovkin loses to Canelo, but I also explain as to why Golovkin can beat Canelo and how to beat Canelo. And I've said also how Canelo beats Golovkin. If Ingram, if Canelo's on the ropes, Canelo gets destroyed. What are you talking about? Have you seen Canelo fight off the ropes? Have you actually studied Canelo off the ropes? Have you actually seen Canelo box off the ropes? Have you seen him box off the ropes, or are you just? How long have you been watching Canelo fight? I've seen Canelo box off the ropes many times. He can fight on the front foot. He can fight off the back foot. They can fight side to side. Canelo is an all-round package. Golovkin's a front foot fighter. If you don't believe me, go and look at Canelo fights. Right. That's it for me. Enough of this for me. I've just given my breakdown to Golovkin versus Canelo. A lot of people won't agree with me. Good luck to them. But have you seen Golovkin attack people on the ropes? Yes, I have seen him attack them on the ropes. And that's why I said, if you go back and listen to what I said if Canelo allows Golovkin to put him on the ropes, that's not the fight because he's on the front foot. He needs to be on the back foot. Boxing's all about opinions. It is. When is the next Sanchez interview? Let's see when the next Sanchez interview is. Hold on. Give me a second. Let's see if we can get a Sanchez interview. Oh, there's only 50% on this battery. It's not good. How much is on this one? 48%. Yeah, I did see it. About Charles, I did see it. Let's see what we can do here for you guys. Let's see. Okay. No, not you. See if we can get Abel on the phone. Give me a moment to see what I can do. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Where are you able? There you are. Hey Abel, it's Ingram here. I hope all is well. I know you're busy in cap with Gennady at the moment, but if you could, it'd be great to get a call, an interview with you shortly to talk about the fight. But yep, I'll speak to you soon, Abel. I'll keep trying. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, there we go. Phone's going berserk at the moment. Okay, well, I have tried with Abel, and we'll keep trying with Abel until we get that call with him. I may have to chase him up via Facebook. I keep telling you guys, and I'm going to tell you again, check out a man called Rashidi Ellis. He's got the hand speed of a Roy Jones Jr. and punches just as hard as a Roy Jones Jr. as a welterweight. Check him out, Rashidi Ellis. Check him out. Fraud? Are you fraud? Are you suggesting I'm a fraud? Usually those that call other people frauds are usually the frauds. We know there's some hating in the room going on. Ah, right. Oh, you like. Hold on. You'll learn. Bye. You just can't come in my room, troll in my room. I run my room. You don't run my room. Bye, Mr. Malachi Simpson. We love you. Thank you very much. It has to be done. We have idiots coming in the room. They get deleted. You see, where's Big Russ? I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is. Let's see where he is. He's always got something to say, you Russ. Good evening.
How's Ingram doing?
Ingram is live on his channel at the moment.
Hey?
I'm live on my channel at the moment. People want to give you a call and see how you were doing.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're live on now. How are we doing, Ingram? All right?
I'm good, Russell. How you doing?
Don't mention anything what I sent you earlier.
No. Let's talk. I had Tommy Chadburn earlier on.
Never.
I didn't even.
Tommy Chadburn. I've just gone by his house earlier. His bedroom light went off, so he must be getting his head down.
I had an interview with him, and obviously didn't go down well with Tommy Frank. The two of them got into a little bit of a heated discussion over Twitter.
When tonight?
Yeah, earlier on, yeah.
Have you had them both at it?
Yeah, well, they were in the middle of it, so I don't know. It's AJ.
All good stuff, isn't it, Ingram?
Well, AJ Hobson said that according to Tommy Frank, according to Tommy Chadburn, he turned around and said that hey, at the end of the day, he said at the end of the day that what did he say? He said that AJ Hobson's desperate to make the fight against Tommy Frank, but Tommy Frank wouldn't make the three.
It's a good fight, isn't it? It's the two young kids, aren't they? 4 and 0, right? Well, they're 23, 24-year-olds. It's a good little fight. You know, you got a Wednesday fan and a Blade fan. You got one lad from Doncaster, Rotherham, one from Sheffield.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good little fight. It's a good little fight, that man. And he's got a bit of a following, Tommy Chadburn. There's a lot of tickets. That's why Carl Greaves has pinched him offers for his October 6th show. But to be fair to them, they didn't know we were going to be going on October 13th. So.
Okay, so.
But it's a good little fight, mate. It's a good little fight. Honestly, it's a good little trade fight. And loser can come again.
Okay, any news about Dave Allen?
He texted me earlier, but he didn't say, he hasn't said anything about anything, so I don't know. But I think he's going to be fighting in September. I don't know though.
What do you make of this Joshua Ortiz Wilder situation?
think that Joshua. Well, you heard the Carl Froch interview, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where he said they're not going to go for Wilder or Ortiz. They're not going to risk him with him for a couple of years. So, but I said that in October, didn't I?
Yeah. It looks like
a year ago.
It looks like Eddie Hearns posted a photograph of him and Chisora. Was he re-signed to Chisora or something?
I don't know.
But I think you're good.
He might, if he has done it, it's obviously just to make the White fight, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
If you remember, I told Dillian White that after he fought Chisora, I says, look, what's going to happen now? Eddie's just going to mess you about until you give him the Chisora rematch. And that will be chief support to a Joshua mismatch, which we're going to see another Eric Molina job, aren't we? But it won't be Eric Molina, it'll be Pulev. It'll be Joshua Pulev, who's just gone 12 rounds with retired Kevin Johnson. He's been knocked out by Vladimir. And you're going to have Dillian White, Chisora underneath, and he's going to have to pay him well because they've held out till last minute, haven't they?
Yeah.
And his back's against wall now, isn't he?
Okay.
And you might have Dave Allen on the same card with that Lenroy Thomas. That's how he's going to work it.
It's a bit predictable, isn't it?
Allen might be on the show before on the September one. But Dillian White and Chisora, that's going to be chief support for Joshua Pulev. Trust me, I've been saying it for months.
Right, you have said it. It's true.
I also didn't want to fight Vladimir, didn't I?
Yep.
He's not going to let Joshua fight in another country because you can forget any of that stubble. But Joshua could fight Eddie Yates off Coronation Street, a big man, and there'd still be a sellout, wouldn't it? Because you've got all these casual people. They're bought into a superhero, aren't they? You can't fight for Toffee, mate. He can punch. He's an athlete. He can't fight. He looks like he's got his feet in treacle. They're going to keep him away from Wilder and Ortiz. Ortiz can knock him out. He's a southpaw as well, and he's got good skills. Wilder will just flog him to death. If he hits him, he'll not get up and he'll not let him off hook. He will go to sleep if he fights them too. So look at Pulev and winner of Chisora White. That's what's going to happen next year, isn't it?
So how does he? So is he going to give up his WBA title?
I'd have thought that they'll give him a pass. That's what I think they'll do. They'll give him a pass because they'll just keep hanging on, won't they?
Ortiz are pushing. Ortiz is pushing for the Joshua fight.
Yeah, he's pushing for it, but I think what they'll do, they don't want that fight. So I think what they'll do, they'll fight Pulev, and I think the WBA to shut Wilder, I think they'll just give him that regular belt, won't they? To shut Ortiz up, they'll give him regular belt.
But the regular belt's been fought by what's the guy, Ustinov and Fred.
Oh, is it? Sorry, it's interim. Which did he have before? Interim belt, wasn't it? Sorry, he had the interim, didn't he? Before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Let me just have a check here. I'm sure he had interim.
He had the interim. He was #1 contender, and then he left.
Eddie Hearn got him to give it up, didn't he? That was it. He had the interim, right, in 2014 against Lakodi Coyote.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a no contest, didn't it?
Well, the guy was a cruiserweight coming up, wasn't he?
Yeah. He knocked him out, though, didn't he, Coyote?
Yeah.
And then he fought 9 months later against Byron Polly, but the belt won't on line. Then he fought Mateus Ariel Vidondo. That were interim. Brian Jennings interim. That was it. Brian Jennings. That's when he fought Thompson's trap after. Then they got him to get. That was it. Eddie got him to get rid of it. He tried to get him to go in a different direction. Keep him away from Joshua, innit?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what they've done. Then he's come back from Alex Scott, Intercontinental. That's one less than that belt, innit? So he's put him down back in order. So they met Eddie Hearn, right? He's gone from interim and #1 mandatory to vacant Intercontinental. So he's back down rankings. Then he's fought Dave Allen. There's not fought since Christmas when he fought.
I think I might give King Kong Boxing a call. I might have to give them a call because
King Kong Boxing. Why don't you get his manager? That what's it called? Jimmy.
I've spoken to him before. I've got his number, so I might just call his.
Half alright. His manager's half alright.
He's alright. He's okay.
David Allen, my when he fought him, he had a bit of a chat with him and they got on with David, because David's a tough kid, isn't he? Like, he didn't fight anybody.
Yeah.
But David shouldn't have been in there with Ortiz. Not when you've got the big gold medalist with the belt, what's he called? Joshua, fighting Molina, but yet you've got Ortiz there. Come on. Now, he's going to go, right, from Molina, age 37, to 41-year-old Vladimir, to Pulev, 37-year-old. Well, what is he doing, Joshua? Is he just fighting old men? What's going on here? You've got Wilder there, age 30, in his peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on with what are they doing with Joshua? What are they doing? You know what they're going to do?
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to tell Steve Wellings earlier. Do you remember what you got to do in Matchroom to suss them out? You have to go back in time. You have to study the records like I have and like other people do. 31-year, 3 world champions from debut. Herbie Hyde, Joshua Kalyafai. They don't invest in fighters. Christopher Eubank, they didn't invest in him, from beginning. They got him off somebody else. Then they slipped him in, didn't they, for WBO, fair enough. Chris Eubank, they rinsed it with Sky. It got that bad that the head guy at Sky at the time, were basically on the case. He says, you can't keep feeding these guys to us, to Barry Earn. You can't keep feeding Eubank these stiffs. They were stiffs, weren't they? You know that, and I know that, Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
He had 24 world title fights. He only beat 4 world champions. So who were the rest of them? He won 19 of them. So if he only beat 4, who were the 15? Who are they? Shockers. There were no box rock in them days. It's same with Carl Zaghi. He had 22 world title fights as a super middleweight. He only beat 8 world champions. Who was the other 14? And what has Carl Zaghi and Christopher Eubank got in common? Both WBO. You like Nathan Cleverly? He's another WBO champion. You like Ricky Burns? Another WBO champion. As soon as they step up, they get found out. They'd have been better off learning the trade at British level. Although Kazagi never got beat, did he? But the others, the WBO is weak. It's weaker than the IBO. We proved it, didn't we? Looking at the ranking, the independent rankings.
We did.
The WBO, the weakest division out there.
The Warren Boxing Organization, they call it.
The Warren Boxing Organisation. Now, what Eddie Hearn's going to do with Sky is going to keep rinsing it while everybody's going to get away with these fights, these Eric Molina fights, the Charlie Martins, the Dominic Brazils, the Eric Molinas, the Pulevs, and old man Vladimir. While everybody's going to keep getting away with them and hyping it up, they're going to keep doing it. And they're doing it now with Conor McGregor, Floyd they've just had. Gee, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Well, they all walked into the sunset with millions. They were laughing and joking and hugging each other after.
Of course.
But we said this weeks ago when they were on the same aeroplane flying all around Wales promoting it. On the same aeroplane. Laughing at... Did you see them laughing at all fans afterwards? Laughing their heads off. Laughing. Now, this is how I look at it, right? Are we going to be made mugs by these people? Are we going to be made to look like mugs? Is that what they're doing to us now, Sky? Because it looks to me like they are. It's disgraceful what's going on, and nobody at Sky is going to disagree with me. They look to me like comedians. You've got Adam Smith, Johnny Nelson, Ed Robinson, and all the rest of them. They're saying it with straight faces. They're stood in front of the camera saying they can see how Conor McGregor beats Floyd Mayweather because he's 29 and Floyd's 40. Floyd's been out of the ring 2 years and Conor's got a good punch. Come on. The comedians. They want locking up and throwing away in a prison. They want putting on remand in Wandsworth in London. That's where they need to go for fraud. A fraud is a section, 14A or something? That's fraud. What they've done is fraudulent. They are frauding the fans. Adam Smith, Ed Robinson, Johnny Nelson are company men. Them commentators that work for Sky, they are company men. They all farce. Gareth Davis has been around the fight scene for 20 odd years. He's a writer for the Daily Mail. He must know it's a farce. Jeff Powell's been around 50 years in the media. He knows it's a farce. Ron Lewis, they all know it's a farce. All of them. But nobody's speaking out, so I'm going to speak out. It's a farce. It's a con. The confidence tricksters. Now, what's going to be the next con? All these pay-per-views are cons. Tell me a good pay-per-viewing that Sky have done.
Look, there's one that's coming up now I'm looking forward to. Crawler versus Burns.
That's not pay-per-view, is it?
Who knows?
If that's pay-per-view, we might as well all pack in and get a job down pit. Might as well get a job down coal mines, haven't we? I might as well do what my dad did, my granddad and his granddad and so on. I might as well go down pit, haven't we? And be in a dark place for a third of our lives, a third a day, 8 hours a day. It's a disgrace what's going on, and Eddie Hearn should be ashamed of himself. Now, I've been telling Eddie Hearn this for a couple of years now, and he keeps laughing and joking, and you know he has odd email, sends me odd email, thinks he's smug and that. But I just beat him with statistics every time. He's now blocked me on Twitter, and I'm glad because that means I've touched a nerve, doesn't it? He don't send me any smug emails now because when I say something on here now, people listen because I'm telling the truth. How can you go wrong if you tell truth?
Well, some people, but the thing is, people don't like opinions, and if you say an opinion, they don't like you having an opinion. So
yeah, I'm not bothered. Well, they need to come and say it to my face because everybody pats me on the back when they see me, and they say to me, "Well done," and I keep getting bonuses for what I'm doing. So I must be doing something right.
So there's a guy on this chat.
Like what I'm doing. I just say it as that is. I'm not going to be one of them company men like them at Sky. I have bills to pay like everybody else, but I've also got principles. They haven't.
There's a guy on here that's saying that Eddie Hearn's the best promoter in the UK, and that's a fact.
Who's that King Dog T or whatever his name is or something?
No, his name is Mr. Skeptical.
Mr. Skeptical, it's probably Eddie Hearn.
Probably.
It's probably Eddie Hearn in disguise. He's got about 8 faces, hasn't he? Eddie Hearn, did you know, pays people to go on Twitter, right, and to DM me and try and find things out, but I don't tell anybody anything unless they give me the phone number, and then I call them on WhatsApp. I can see the face. I don't tell anybody anything. They must think I'm stupid. You know, people who set accounts up, you know, like in August 2017, and then they have a quick 100 followers, and then they DM me telling me I'm best thing since sliced bread. They must think I'm crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, the conning fans, mate, that Mayweather thing, right? We're fast, wasn't it? Did you see what he were doing after 4 rounds? He didn't know what to do, did he, McGregor? He was just touching his arms out, wasn't he? He had no left in him, did he?
Well, it was for boxing fans. We knew what was happening. For MMA fans, they were distressed. But there was
Dennis had a grand on Mayweather. Dennis had a grand on Mayweather to win back.
But you know, it's funny. You got all these guys that were supposedly boxing experts saying that McGregor had all this left hand, all this power McGregor had, and they're all backtracking now. It's quite funny, and against a 40-year-old man as well.
Do you know why they're all backtracking? They all said it because they wanted to kiss people's backsides at Sky. You see, what it is in boxing, man. This is how I look at it. You've got all these people in boxing. They all say all this on internet. They slag people, this and that. And we all say what we're going to say about certain people. Then when you see it in flesh, nobody does anything. Nobody sticks it on anybody's chin. Nobody says anything. They all want to keep everybody's feet because they all want to wait with him down the line. Now, do you know me? I'm like Peter Fury. I don't give a hoot about anybody in boxing. Only people I answer to is Dennis Hobson and my missus. That's it. I don't give a hoot about anybody else. I ain't bothered. As long as I'm doing my job right, I ain't bothered about what anybody else says. Because if we don't get a chance to work with anybody, so be it. Do you think Dennis is bothered? He's a multi-millionaire. He ain't bothered. But boxing's his passion, same as it's my passion. Things are going to be all right for next season for us. But if people don't want to work with us, so be it. It's like this week, I made an offer to Steffi Bull for Curtis Woodhouse to fight Danny Kennedy.
Right.
I made the offer. Steffi said, no, we're going in a different direction. I said, oh, yeah. So I've left it 3 or 4 days. I got in touch with Curtis Woodhouse today. He didn't even know about that offer. So what's that tell you? I offered him $4 grand to fight Danny Kennedy in Jersey on the 11th of November. Curtis Woodhouse didn't even know anything about that. So what's that tell you about Steffi Bull?
You tell me.
He's the right manager, isn't he? But, you know, that's up to them, isn't it? So, but this is how I look at it. They're telling me Curtis Woodhouse is getting more than $4 grand for fighting this Saturday against a journeyman at Donny Dome. Right? And what it says on the poster is Curtis Woodhouse versus TBA. So if he's getting more than $4 grand to fight at Donny Dome September 2nd, and then getting loads more than that in November, good luck to Curtis Woodhouse, because I'm telling you now, he isn't getting that. But if Steffi Bull don't want to work with us, so be it. You don't have to. How many fighters has Steffi Bull had? And Dennis's? How many? He's had quite a few, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? That have passed through. But we're not bothered. Because, you know, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, our phones are going to be red hot. So let's see. Let's see how all these people who don't want to work with Dennis, I guarantee you they will want to work with us in the next couple of weeks. So let's see. But boxing is a very strange business, isn't it, Ingram?
It is.
Some very strange people in boxing, isn't there? You know what people need to do in boxing? They need to be themselves. They need to stop hiding, stop treading on eggshells, and say what they want to say.
Okay, we've got
instead of thinking.
Check this one out, right? Mr. Skeptical, that's it. See you tomorrow. Take a time out, son.
See you tomorrow, mate.
No, we're talking to Mr. Skeptical. I've kind of had enough now. He's been trolling for a while, and I'm kind of getting fed up with him now. So after a while, I can't do it no more. So just put him to the side. GJ6 says Russell sounds he's just mad because he isn't on Sky and gets fights turned down and tired of small hall shows.
Well, he's going to be for a surprise, Ingram. So,
yeah, mate.
No, I'm upset, but we can only deal with what we can deal with, can't we?
Yeah.
You can only make best of what you've got, can't you? So, but boxing's one of them things that the boxing landscape changes very quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but I just think it's a flawed business. You know, you have certain people, they don't want to work with certain people. For example, Eddie Hearn's done 3 fights in 8 years with Frank Warren, but I could tell you another 20 fights that he could have made.
Right.
How many fights has Eddie done with Mick Hennessy? They're all keeping it in-house. He only wants to work with people that he can control. Now, he can't control me or Dennis, because we'll just put him straight, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
But he were practically begging on his hands and knees to make Kell Brook Khan, begging. I've heard him on the phone practically begging on loudspeaker to certain people, let's make this fight with Amir. Begging nearly, mate, begging, because it's a pound note. But yeah, any other day, sticking knifing on Amir, isn't he? And anybody around him. But where there's a pound note, he's begging. Have you seen this interview he's done today?
No.
About Frampton. After all that, Frampton left him, he's willing to take him back. Begging, do you know why?
Money.
Money is God. He has got no pride. No pride whatsoever. When Jamie McDonnell left us and went to Eddie Hearn, right? Do you think Dennis wants to work with Jamie McDonnell again? Does he? Do I want to? No. He's a wrong one, isn't he? He is not to be trusted. Well, what's happened? They've had him parked up since November, haven't they?
Why?
Why is that? Well, only Eddie knows that, doesn't he? He's been parked up since November. But the bottom line is this. Somebody could leave Eddie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he'd have him back. He'd be upset. When Frampton left Eddie Hearn, I can show you emails off Eddie Hearn, mate, that I've got here. He was devastated, mate. But I'm not like that. I'm not going to kick him when I'm not going to kick Eddie when he's down, because there'll come a time when Eddie's on his hands and knees. And let me tell you, when Frampton left him, he were wounded. And for him to want him back, what does that tell you? If his missus went with another man, would he take her back? Would he? Because if he's willing to take Frampton back, that's the same thing in my opinion. If my missus went with another man, I wouldn't have her back. I wouldn't have her back. Any man whose missus goes with somebody else shouldn't have her back. Now Frampton's left him. Why would he want him back? Why? Has he got no morals? We wouldn't have him back if he were ours. Once you're gone, mate. That's it. You get one chance. So why? He's just crazy. It's for money, isn't it? Always thinking about money, but he'll get away with it, saying, "Oh, it's for business reasons. I do the best of my fires." It's rubbish. It's for money. Have some pride. You know what I mean? Have some pride. Be like the Furies. Be your own man. Have some pride. Furies don't mess about with it like that. If you double cross them, you're done, aren't you? That's it. You only get one chance to beat you. Mick Hennessy's same. He won't have anybody back who's left him. People should have pride in boxing. Too many snakes. But other than that, everything is hunky-dory, as you well know.
As I well know.
People, you know what, Ingram? Do you know what? In all these people who are knocking it, it's all going to be for a big shock, aren't they, kids?
Absolutely. And it's funny.
All
It's funny.
going to be for a big shock. And you know what? I'm just going to laugh.
Got to.
I'm just going to laugh. But I'm laughing now, but I'm going to laugh harder.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm all right. But what do you think is going to happen with Dillian White then?
I think you're right. You're going to chuck him with Chisora, I think.
Yeah, he's got. Listen, we knew that ages ago. Eddie loves a rematch. He loves a rematch. He just loves it. And I'm telling you now, mate, Chisora and White, they're both. White's crap in it. I'll be honest. Like, he's not much cop, is he? And Chisora's shot to bits in it. This will be his last hurrah, won't it?
Yep.
Right. He was shot to bits when Tyson bashed him up second time. So Eddie's going to let them knock 7 bells on each other, and it's going to be another 12-round boar feast. But last time was a bit exciting. This time I think it'll be a boar feast over 12 rounds. The winner gets Joshua, right? Now Joshua's now got Pulev or White and Chisora, and that takes him to November 2018. That'll be his last fight with Eddie Hearn. That's when his contract ends, isn't it?
Yep.
Joshua's contract. So Pulev and then White and Chisora, and then one more. Who would he fight after that? Probably Bellew, probably Tony Bellew, or Parker or Hughie Fury. That's who's going to be in the mix. There's no bangers. Not one of them's a banger, and not one of them's an elite fighter. Not one of them. Hughie's only a babby, isn't he? He's not there yet, is he? Now, that's Joshua. That's how he's going to do it. There'll be no Tyson Fury, no Ortiz, no Wilder, and that's your lot. Not even Jared Miller. I don't even think they'd put him in, because it'd be embarrassing if they did, because he doesn't deserve it, does he? So
Yeah.
you'd be looking at Pulev, Chisora, and then another easy one. And then if he wants to go fly his wings, Joshua, Eddie's milked the cow 3 more times, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And how many times has he milked? Now 6. What we on? White, which were, how can that be pay-per-view? Charlie Martin, that shouldn't have been pay-per-view. Brazil shouldn't have been pay-per-view. Melina, that shouldn't have been pay-per-view. Vladimir, that should have been pay-per-view, and it were good value, wasn't it? Because Vladimir were an old man. So that's 5. Pulev 6, White or Chisora 7, and then one more easy one. So that's 8 pay-per-views. Eddie would have had 16 million quid out of that. 17, no, maybe 20 million quid he'd have had out of that. Easily. Throw in the 3 Carl Froch pay-per-views and the other 14, he's probably made 50 million in pay-per-views. That's what he's probably had. But I can guarantee you, Joshua's going to have his 6th one against Pulev, and his 7th pay-per-view against Chisora at All White, and then another easy one, and then he'll go on his own.
What about?
What's going to happen?
So what about?
There's going to be no Wilder, mate.
What about What about the Ortiz situation? Because he could get stripped of the WBA title.
Who could Joshua?
Yeah.
He's not bothered about that, is he? He's just going to say he's doing what's best for his career. He's going to say Ortiz doesn't sell no tickets, and he's not marketable. But yeah, Eddie Hearn's had him on Sky twice, so he's known to fans. But whereas Pulev, we don't know about him, do we? All we know is that he got knocked out by Vladimir, and he went life and death with Kevin Johnson, who's a retired old chubby checker lookalike. So what's going on here? Have you seen the chubbiness of Kevin Johnson?
I have.
Joshua splattered him in 4 minutes, and he retired, and then he came out of retirement to fight Pulev, who's got a great name, hasn't he? Pulev. You know what I mean? Crap. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be near a boxing ring. He should be a doorman in Bulgaria. That's where he should be. He's not an heavyweight contender. It's embarrassing watching him fight. But you're going to get Callie Sauerland. He's going to push it and scream Blumenerd for it. They waited and waited, and they want their slice of pie, don't they? That's as simple as that. That's what they want. And they've got him into position, and they'll stick to it. Callie Sauerland is like Frank Warren. He'll tie you up with 50-page contracts. So they've got to fight Pulev, trust me. And they're not going to go near Ortiz. But I've been saying that for a long time now. If they were going to fight Ortiz, he'd have fought him when he had him, money. If Joshua were going to fight Luis Ortiz, it would have happened when Eddie had him in the same team. They were in the same stable. That's what they were building it up for, wasn't it, Ingram?
Absolutely not.
Well, that we all thought, but no, he got him in his own team to keep him away from him because he's a southpaw. Ask Dave Allen how hard Ortiz hits, mate. I'm telling you now. He punches like a mule. He don't waste his punches. He's very accurate.
But Allen said,
take Joshua, mate.
He said Dubois hits. Every time he hit him, he shook him. He hits harder than Joshua. Dubois.
Oh yeah, Dave Allen said that.
Yeah.
No, Dave Allen told me a couple of weeks ago. When he went clinchers, Dubois were throwing him around like a rag doll.
That's what I'm saying.
Dave Allen, you've had a little sparring session with him, haven't you? He's strong as an ox.
He's very strong, Dave Allen. Very strong.
He said Dubois were walking him all over the place. He said very, very strong, very powerful. Well, look what happened up there, up at EIS. He stood Joshua on his head, left him smashed up in ropes. And then he was they didn't let him come into training next day, and next day after that he signed for Frank Warren. He was gone. Anybody who gives Joshua an hard time up at there with that EAS near Dennis's scrapyard, he said back. Anybody who gives him an hard time, I'm telling you now, mate, they're gone. David Price knocked him out. What happened to him? Gone. He didn't get to go back, did he? Coley spun him on his head, didn't he, and dropped him on one knee. What happened to him? Joshua signed him, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Joshua's his manager. Who's the other one? There's another one. There's been a couple there that have given him an hard time. Dave Allen gave him a good session. He won one session at 80 or something. Dave Allen's had done over 500 rounds with Joshua.
Okay.
Never been dropped. He's had his nose broke 5 times. But he had a great good session against him, a couple of years ago. And this can happen. You can't be on top form all the time in sparring. But trust me, he's hiding glass. He is hiding glass, mate. The only reason he didn't get found out against Vladimir is because after the 6th round, Vladimir emptied his tank. And after 9th, he was just hanging on for life, hoping for a points win. I'm telling you now, mate, he's hiding glass, Joshua. He ought to be sponsored by Auto Windscreens.
I think, check this out. What do you think of the whole situation with Amir Khan and his wife and Joshua? Do you think that's all true? I think it's lies.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he's been with her. I don't know, but this is how I look at it. This is a message to all young boxers out there. Do not get married to anybody in boxing while you're at the top of your game, because They all want to take half. Try and go with somebody who knew you before you had any money. As soon as you marry them, it all changes. They turn into monsters.
Absolutely.
Now, many a fighter has been ruined by a woman. And women don't get in ring to ruin you. They do your heading out at ring. Before you know where you are, you can't get up in the morning and run because your mind's preoccupied with other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
How can Amir Khan get his head around a training camp when he's got all that going on at home? Asif, well, we had Amir Khan on a 90-day contract.
Yep.
We had to deliver him a fight in 90 days, which was obviously the Kell Brook fight, wasn't it?
Right.
December till March, 90 days, we're going to deliver him a fight. We didn't deliver because Kell Brook didn't want £3 million because Amir wanted 4. He wanted 4 like him and it couldn't be done. So Kell decided to fight for 1.5 million. Get beat in an harder fight. So he's a businessman, Kell, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. And
the people around him, they know what they're doing, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Hearn knew he'd get beat in that fight. That's why he went to the Khan fight, didn't he? But Amir Khan has not had a world title win for 6 years and 1 month. Now, he's out of game now, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't had a fight for 15 months. Before that, he'd not fought for a year or 13 months. He's not active enough, is he?
Okay.
He's not active. He's not active at all. He's not. And I think it'll always be. I think it's over for him now. He'll never fight again. He might come out and fight somebody like Conor McGregor or Michael Bisping and get took out in cage for a couple of million. That's what'll happen with Amir Khan. I mean, in talks that, you know, he's up for out like that, and it's just a case of getting money now, isn't it, for him? He's at that stage where he wants to earn money. But this is how I look at it. Amir Khan will not fight in the boxing ring again. He'll go off at rails now. His head will be done in. It must be done in with how that bird treats him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a good situation, and I think boxing is the last thing on his mind at the moment, or fighting. But, you know, I wish him well. He's been a good fighter, hasn't he? But like I said, he hasn't won a world title fight for over 6 years, so he's out of the equation, isn't he?
Yeah. What do you make of this? There's people asking questions about the Fury camp and the leaks come out of the Fury camp. What are your thoughts on that? People are asking questions about it.
I don't really know anything about that. I know Asif Valley on a personal level. I speak to him regular, and we've actually worked with some work with him, but I don't know anything about it. Why would Asif want to tell tales about Furies when he works with him? And why would he do it for 15 grand when he's already wealthy anyway? It doesn't seem. I don't know, it just doesn't seem feasible. It just seems, where's proof? We're all waiting for proof, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we are. What happened with that story, by the way? It seems to have gone all quiet. What happened with the story?
I don't know. That lad's supposed to be bringing the story out or something. He didn't come out with it, did he?
Interesting.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
So I feel for Asif this. So let's see some evidence if Asif's guilty. If he isn't, there's some people need to apologise, don't they?
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's you know, but it's a story that's been floating around for about a year now. I heard something like story like this last year, so I don't know.
Well, let's see some proof before people start accusing people, eh?
Oh, by the way, tomorrow night we should have Liam Cameron, Sam Sheedy, and Tommy Frank all on BWTM Sports.
Yeah, you're having them all on tomorrow night. Oh,
yep.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yep.
And obviously, when you come over, it's going to be another probably a week or something, or you know, to come over to Fuss because we're having that, aren't we? You know where I'm at.
Yeah. Of course.
So we'll see you then anyway, won't we?
Absolutely.
And we'll do them questions I've got fans is about 150.
That sounds good. Some of them questions I think you need to.
Well, there were more actually. There were about 180 odd.
Some of them questions you need to duck out and leave, but we'll talk about that when I see you in person. You've got to leave some of them.
Yeah. What question was? What? Some of them you don't want to endorse them?
Absolutely not. No. What?
Well, I can only write out what they said.
Okay. I don't think non-boxing questions are irrelevant. It's a boxing show.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Well, some of them just ask them questions, don't they, fans?
Yeah. So just ask. Yeah. People don't need to know about your personal life and what you eat for breakfast.
Yeah. How many kids you got and all that. What did one of them say? What car do I drive? Plastic tires.
Mosey so and so's. Oh, Michael.
What do you drive a Mondeo? No, I drive a Merc.
Michael C asks, is it true that Callum Smith is packing glass?
Yes, he is. Yes. Callum Smith, right, has knocked the WBA fight back with Groves. He's knocked the IBF fight back with Gale. He's knocked the WBC mandatory back with Anthony Dirrell. And he's knocked the WBO back from offer from Bob Arum last summer for the Ramirez fight.
Right.
And he's also been, that's 4 world title fights. And he's been offered a fight with what's it called? That Benitez.
Benitez. That's a bad man. I watched him the other night.
He's a bad man.
He's a bad man.
He's not bad. He's knocked 5 back there. And he's now fighting Eric Skoglund for no belt. So Callum Smith's been mandatory 29 months. He's got no title fight. And he's going to go into 2018 with no title fight again. Because the next fight in that tournament in for the title. So what is he doing? Where's he going? Where is Callum Smith going? Does anybody know? Because he's the forgotten man of British boxing, isn't he?
He's the best prospect.
What is Joe Gallagher doing with him?
Best prospect in world boxing, according to others.
According to Mike, let me tell you this, right? Them Smiths have fought 10 world champions and they've lost all. They're 0-10 against world champions. They've had 122 fights and not beat a former or a current world champion. So, is the Smiths, is it a myth? Maybe not. Is Joe Gallagher a myth? Yeah. He might be a good trainer, but only him says that. But is he a good manager? Or is he just out for himself? Is Joe Gallagher out for himself? Because the way I see it, he's placing kids in fights where he's getting the most money, but he's not going for the belt. Why ain't Callum Smith fighting Andre Dirrell? Why not? Why not? They wanted to go to America. It were all sorted, wasn't it? $990,000 for winner. And they knock it back to take less money against Scotland. What planet are they on, mate?
Well, according to one of the people here, Smith's clearly going somewhere because he's going for the belts of the Super 8 series.
What belt is that? George Groves?
I don't know.
There's only one belt in it, George Groves, isn't there? Oh, the IBO, isn't there? Eubank.
Oh, who do you think is going to win the tournament?
Who do I think will win it?
Yeah.
George Groves.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's the favourite. George Groves. He's just too experienced for them all, isn't he?
Okay.
I think George Groves. And I think Eubank's a dark horse as well, because Carl Froch was telling me that he's good. He's a good fighter, but he just might not have enough at super middle. He's an handful at middleweight, isn't he?
Yeah. Boxing fans 1337 asks, ask Ross if Mayweather hired Joe Gallagher on Saturday.
If Mayweather what?
Hired Joe Gallagher on Saturday.
If he high-fived him?
No, hired him.
Oh, no, he didn't. He wouldn't. Mayweather, Joe Gallagher, you wouldn't have him in the same dressing room, would you? You know, have you seen when it says on Joe Gallagher's t-shirts?
Yeah. Training
champion since 1993. He was working in a warehouse in 1993, wasn't he?
Hey.
Working in a warehouse in Salford.
Here's something I want to share. Here's something I want to share with you. I had a discussion the other day. A lot of people are laughing at me about it. And I've said, in terms of David Price, if he got himself with a defensive trainer, like a guy who could work with his defense and a psychologist, that he could still be a dangerous heavyweight and potentially could still go on to be world champion. What are your thoughts and why?
Yeah, I think David Price, if he, I don't think it's a defensive thing with him. I think it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's mental. That's what I think it is. He's got enough power there to take anybody out, but so did Ernie Shavers, and he never won a world title, did he?
No.
And he was probably the hardest puncher in sport.
Yeah, of course.
But so I think that. Well, I just don't think Davy Price is going to do it. He's 34 now. Right? Last time I seen him fight, he looked like his feet were in concrete. He was bent over that rope, he nearly bent in half, and he was leaning down to Dave Caldwell. He said, "Dave, have you got my door key down there? Don't lose it." And he was embarrassing to see, and you know, I've really felt for him, and because he had to pay Caldwell his 10% as well for that performance, and it was awful, but just one of them things, isn't it?
There was something you put the other day. Somebody said that you said something like Dave Caldwell. What the hell's all that about?
What did I say about him?
Yeah.
Oh, what, him being a wrong un? He is a wrong un, mate. He sleeps with people's wives in boxing, doesn't he? We all know that up this end, that he's a wrong un. And he's had a lot of problems at his gym, and you know, he gets a bit harassed and that, but you shouldn't sleep with your mate's wife, should you? Or rip boxers off. Look at that cruiserweight, John Anthony, who strangled him at that dinner at Ellerbeall Hotel. John Anthony walked in with black tie on, grabbed Dave Caldwell, strangled him on floor, choked him out nearly. Guess who split it up? Howard Foster. He started giving him kiss of life. Howard Foster, please come. They were carrying Caldwell out, and he were trying to grass him up. And Dominic Ingalls said, "We don't tell police about what goes on in boxing, do we, Dave?" And Dave went, "No." But yeah, he got choked out, mate, for ripping John Anthony off my school, mate. But we were managing and training him when he ripped him off. So yeah, he's a dirty little wrong, and I've got no time for Caldwell. He sees me, he stays out my way. I don't like him. He's a wrong un. I could go on all day about him. People know what he is. Borrowing money off 10-year-old kids' mums in gym, and then not paying him back. And I'm talking a lot of money as well off some of them. He ripped loads of people off, mate, when he had that Caldwell television thing, getting investors and ripping people off. So, Dave, if you're listening, I'll tell you straight, mate, to your face, you're a no good wrong un. So, but that's just how it is, isn't it? So that's boxing for you, innit? There's loads of them. It was surrounded by now. We need to root them all out, all these wrong uns, don't we?
You're
nobody left though, would there?
You're on a one-man mission rampage tonight. Is there anything else?
Me and Dennis left, and you and Michelle in office. Now he's assistant. We're the only ones left, aren't we? We are morals and principles. Everybody else would be out of game, wouldn't they? We'd close it down. UFC would take over, wouldn't they? Somebody, funny outlook, how I say it.
Somebody said that I should be charging what 19.95 and you know what, I might just do my subscription, bang my subscription up to 10,000 and start getting people to pay for subscription. Might do a Dwyer special.
What, to listen to me?
Yeah, it goes. Slewer says, I gotta go work at 5 a.m. This guy's got me dead. LOL. I gotta go to bed for F's sake. So you're keeping people up. So it's truth, isn't it? But I can
just tell truth. If you tell truth, how can you go wrong?
Well,
you can't go wrong if you tell truth.
What I don't understand is, and nobody gets it, has picked it up on Sky, apart from obviously myself, yourself, and a few other wise heads. Every fight on Sky, everybody's in a 50-50 fight. Why is everybody in a 50-50 fight? Why is every fight 50-50? They not. McGregor wasn't.
Don't say that, do they? At the bookies, you've got 1 to 1,200 against 7 to 4. So how's that an two evens fight? Pay-per-view. The pay-per-view module is supposed to be 50-50 fights, like Frampton Quick, Froch Groves, things like that. 50-50s. But we're not seeing 50-50s, are we? So it shouldn't be pay-per-view. But they've got the bit between the teeth now, and they're ripping the fans off. But if the fans are stupid enough to put up with it, let them part with the money, because they should just stick up for themselves, shouldn't they? And not pay it.
DJ Slick asks, what's Russ' thoughts on Bellew versus Bisping?
I think it's a joke, isn't it? Bellew's shot to bits. Did you see? Whoever sent that question, right? You should have a look at Bellew's last fight. David A got in that ring and he were hopping from round 1, and his leg finally gave way in round 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he couldn't put him away while 11th, and he still got up. Then it was Jimmy Tibbs who threw towel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, way I see it, mate.
Yeah.
Is it's a farce. If Tony Bellew was given 2 pay-per-view dates to have a fight in a cage and a fight in a ring to fight Bisping, it's a joke. Who has Tony Bellew beat? Now here's a truth for you. He beat Cleverly, right? You had to drag him up to cruiserweight. Cleverly, yeah. Cleverly had 1 arm. Am I right?
Yeah.
He fought with 1 arm from round 2. Right, and it was the crappiest fight ever. They booed it. His second pay-per-view fight and his second win against the former world champion is David A, who he dug up after 5 years. And he couldn't do no with him, and he had 1 leg. So how is Tony Bellew a pay-per-view fighter?
He became the number 1.
That's why he wants to fight Bisping. He wants to be an event fighter.
Yeah, he became the WBC, the best cruiserweight in the world when he beat Makabu. Remember that?
He did what?
He became the best cruiserweight in the world when he beat Makabu, according to him.
Makabu's not beat a world champion. And it was a vacant belt, and Makabu came in at 13 stone 8. He's blown up like everywhere. He's not a cruiser. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Bellew's not pay-per-view. Never been pay-per-view. Do you know what I mean? Never been pay-per-view in his life. Okay,
people want to hear what your thoughts are on Bermain Stavern.
I think he's a good fighter. If he's in shape, he could get anybody trouble on his night. I've never seen him in shape.
Exactly.
I've never seen him in shape. He's got skills to burn, hasn't he?
He has, but he needs to be in shape. He'll need to be in shape against Brazil. That's for sure.
If he can come in at 17.5 stone, I think he could beat anybody on his night.
Do you know what? Did you? I set him up with some sparring with James Ali Bashir's fighters.
Yeah.
So he's quite happy about that. So that's quite good. We'll be interested to see how he does. Oh, Linares versus Campbell. I'm backing Campbell to win the fight.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well. I mean, they keep throwing people at Linares, and he's had, what has he, how many fights has he had now? He's had a lot of fights, hasn't he?
Exactly.
He's going to crack sooner or later. Campbell's fresh as a daisy, isn't he?
Exactly. The only thing about Campbell is his chin. That's the only thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about, his chin.
I don't know. He's not been knocked out, though, Campbell, has he?
No, he hasn't. That's to his credit. Yeah. Okay, what are your thoughts on this? People give me a lot of flack for because we did all these interviews with Stavern, and then he took the step aside money. What do you think about this step aside money? Can you talk sense to some of these boxing fans?
This is how I look at it, guys. You know, boxing.
Yes.
It's hard sport, boxing, isn't it? If you can get a lot of money for not fighting, or just being told that you're going to get your fight, but it's going to be put back 6 months, because that's all it's going to be, 6 months in it.
Yeah.
And if you can take that step aside money, take it, because it's free money in it.
Yep.
You're going to get that fight in 6 months, because what if you got an injury anyway? Nobody in boxing has refused, to my knowledge, apart from one guy, step aside money, and that was Carl Froch. He would offer step aside money by Frank Warren, and he didn't take it.
Okay.
When he was number 1 for Calzaghe.
Right.
He didn't want to take it. They pushed for it. They knew Frank didn't want it with Calzaghe, or unless they had options.
Right.
So they just went to number 2 and they fought Pascal. But step aside money is free money. My advice, if you get offered it, take it.
Yeah, there you go.
Stavern obviously took it, didn't he? So good luck to him. And Don King's his man, in it, looking after him. And Don King loves free money. Trust me.
What do you think of Nathan Cleverly's retirement?
Oh, I think he's been shot to bits for the last 3 years, hasn't he?
Since he got done by Kovalev. Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Just, the battery's about to go though.
Yeah, I think Nathan Cleverly did right to retire.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? What's your thoughts on Crawler versus Burns?
I think it's a fight between two guys that are shot to bits. They've had about 100 fights between them, and they need to pack it in. It's embarrassing. Ricky Burns has been gone for 3 years now. He was spoon-fed a world title for that 140-pound belt. He's been gone for 3 years, and Crawler's shot to bits. He's got no left now. He's had no left since first Linares fight. Nothing. I'd never get him around in second fight. So they need to turn it in and stop recycling crap.
Okay. Do you really think that Hay versus Belly wasn't pay-per-view?
I think the first fight were, yeah, because of the two, one of A's and A, really, but I don't think they deserve another pay-per-view fight. But they will fight again, I think, because Bellew's got nowhere to go. I mean, he's whoring himself out to fight UFC guys like Bisping. And next thing is slagging Mayweather McGregor off. He's got more faces than Two-Face out Batman. Well, I'm just saying it as I see it, Ingram, me. I just tell true. You tell true. You see, when you tell a lie, you have to tell another lie. So if you tell true, you can't go wrong, can you?
Okay. What about Gervonta Davis? Your thoughts on Gervonta Davis?
Gervonta Davis, I think he's a fantastic fighter, but I think he'll get found out because he's not dedicated. He's another James Toney.
What about more of Adrian Broner?
Adrian Broner, yeah, he's like an Adrian Broner, and he's another one of them in a hype job. Adrian Broner, he's a 4-weight champion, but to be honest, when you look closely at his record, who has he really beat? Daniel Ponce de Leon smashed him to bits and got robbed, didn't he, in his first world title fight. Second one were Gavin Rees. He beat Paulie Malignaggi for other one, and who were the other guy? He's been carefully placed, him, hasn't he? That's
true. That's true.
I don't rate Broner at all. To me, he gets smashed to bits by Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell would do him, or probably Crawler. He's about as good as Crawler and Burns, him. Broner. I don't rate him, mate.
What about Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux?
Lomachenko will beat Rigondeaux. He's too big. Too big. It could be a ball feast, though, couldn't it? Them two. But it's a good marketing thing by Bob Arum because they both got double Olympic medals, haven't they? So
okay.
Could sell it off that, couldn't it?
Ross, they want to know. They're very interested to know what my thoughts are. They want you to know what my thoughts are about Gennady Golovkin and Canelo. I've said that Canelo is more versatile than Golovkin. I think Golovkin can only fight going forward. I don't think he can fight going back. I don't think he can fight on the inside. And I said that for Golovkin to win this fight, he's got to stay on the front foot and walk Canelo back. But for Canelo, he's got to get Golovkin walking backwards and keep him on the rope so he can neutralize his power and not allow him to get leverage in his shots. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I agree with exactly what you said there. But my opinion is this: Canelo on points because they both got tough chins, and nobody's going to get a decision over Canelo now because now Mayweather's retired. Canelo is going to be the man in Vegas, so he's not going to get no favours there. Like Kovalev didn't get none in the first fight against Ward, and the second one he didn't get none off ref, did he? So you gain no favours if you're from Russia or Kazakhstan. If you're from behind the curtain, you will not be given any favours in Vegas at all. So I'd expect Canelo on points. I'm
going Canelo to stop Golovkin through body shots because nobody really tested Golovkin's body, and I think he's weak at the weight. Actually, I think he's struggling at the weight. I think he's weight drained.
Oh well, he might be then. Well, I don't know. Just show it could be then. You might be right. I'm going to go Canelo 1 point.
Okay, somebody said. Salua says you can say GGG can't fight going backwards. Watch GGG versus Lemieux again, bro. Lemieux ain't a boxer. He's a slugger. He can't box. Lemieux can box. Yeah. He couldn't spell the word box. You're talking about a guy that can't box versus a guy who can box. You can't compare the two. So Lemieux's a very poor excuse or comparison. Lemieux can't box. Lemieux's a pure slugger. He can't box. You put a jab in Lemieux, that's it. You stick a jab on him. That's what you had to stick a jab on him. Yeah. That's it, and that's what Golovkin did. Remember, and he got knocked out by Rubio before then, who Golovkin carved up in a few rounds. That's the Lemieux we're talking about, right? The same Lemieux. Yeah. Just got to put it out there. So you know, what's your thoughts on Terence Crawford, a former guest on BWTM?
I think he's a great fighter. He's my number 1 pound for pound guy in the world at the moment.
Interesting. I've got Andre Ward as my number 1. Sorry.
Have you?
Yeah, based on the Super 6, what he did at Super 6, beating all those guys, and a lot of those guys went on to go on and become world champions again. You know, I put Ward as number 1 for me. And then he's gone on and beat the best guy, well, arguably the best guy, which was Kovalev at 175. He's beat the best guy at 175 and the best guys at super middleweight. The best guys, you know. That's why I've got my number 1. But
maybe you're right. You might be right then, mate. Yeah, you might be right.
But Crawford's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good fighter. I mean, I remember interviewing him before he fought Burns. And I remember back him say, this guy's going to go on to do great things. There's another guy you need to check out, though. I keep telling people, Rashidi Ellis. Check him out. Rashidi Ellis. Fast hands, like Roy Jones, in sort of the way he sets himself up. Power, speed, movement. He was number 1 amateur in the in America, and he's a welterweight. So he's a dangerous, he's a bad man. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but he's a bad man. Him and David Benavidez. That guy's bad as well. I looked at him. He's very good. Hand speed, power, move. He's good. I like him. I like his style.
Yeah, he is good. He is good, mate. He is. He could be like really, really good, couldn't he?
Yeah. Akulis 180 says, or 180 says, Crawford not fought anyone yet. See how he does at 147. Spence Jr. beats him for me.
Maybe you might. Yeah, you might. Yeah, you might do. You might do. I think Spencer's really good though, me and you. But him against Crawford's a good fight, isn't it?
I think I need to. That reminds me, I'll have to get in touch with Derek James. I haven't spoken to him for a while. Since he's gone back to America, I haven't spoken to him, so I need to get on to him, have a word with him as well. You've just reminded me.
Yeah, you might have to, mate.
Yep. Okay. Russell, we're going to leave you there. Thank you so much for talking to BWTM Sports as always.
No problem, mate. It's been a pleasure, and I will probably speak to you tomorrow, young man.
Absolutely. We have much to discuss.
All right, then, mate. Well, listen, you take care, and all the best to you and your family, mate.
Take care, champ. All the best. Good night.
See you, pal. Bye-bye.
There you go. That is Big Russ having his little chat there with me. Always entertaining, as always. Russ has gone now. I think he wanted to go. It's 2:30 in the morning. Thank you all so much for tuning in. There's one thing I won't accept, and I don't mind people having a laugh and having a joke and all the rest of it, but I don't do abuse. I don't do swearing, and people take kindness for weakness. And there's a place I put rubbish, it goes in a garbage can. So I don't do trolls, and I just put them to a bin. And now I've got the night block bot on. You know, there are a lot of people there who are. There are a lot of good people that come on the channel and respectful and do chats, and then there are trolls. Trolls get blocked, simple as. And there are other people quite respectful, and you know, when night after night after night, they constantly come on your channel chatting crap, or coming on your channel trying to be abusive. You don't do it. I don't have to explain anything or give anyone any explanation. It's my channel. I'll do what the hell I want to do with it. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Simple as. But I'm not having abuse on my channel, and I'm not doing no abuse, no swearing, none of that stuff. Not having it. So people just come on just to start. I just want a nice chat on my channel. I can't be doing the trolls because it just ain't got no time for it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm doing a great, I think I'm doing a great service for boxing, getting you closer to people that you wouldn't normally be able to talk to. And I think, you know, there needs to be a little bit of respect that comes in, and some people just don't know what respect is. And so unfortunately, I don't want those people on my channel. So I've got the block. If I hit the block button, my Nightbot does it. So thank you once again, Nightbot, for moderating my room. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the night. Take care.